All right, get it started. Let's go.
And welcome back to another episode of Generation Sports Fantasy Edition. Let's go, Goosers. That's right. I know you all thought we were going to forget to do our Week 9 matchup edition, but we didn't forget. We are here. We're live on your screens, if you know what I means. And we're just going to go ahead and break this down. This one should be a quick week. There's like 3 matchups that are pretty lopsided, and then we're going to blow through the rest of them as well. But we wanted to make sure we gave the people what they want, which is a little conversation about some of these big matchups going on. So just to review real quick, the standings right now in last place, still sitting at 1-7 is Mr. Too Aggressive, Mr. Chris. Sitting at 2-6 is Izzy, who is always on to Cincinnati lately. You got Fantasy Bust, a.k.a. the Commissioner's Curse, Terry, sitting at, D, the Spoiler, sitting at 4-4. Then Fantasy Bust, a.k.a. the Commissioner's Curse, sitting at 4-4. You got Mr. Blessings Be to All himself, sitting at 4-4 as well. Bob sitting at 4-4. We have AJ, who moved up from a mouse to a tiger, sitting at 4-4. You have Zoe, who's been on a hot streak, sitting at 5-3. You have Kevin, sitting at 5-3. You have Manny 5-3. You have myself at 5-3, and you have everybody's most hated politician, Gary, sitting at 5-3. As you can all see from looking at the screen, our league is a very close league right now. Points is going to be the big difference maker. And at the very end, we should have just enough time. We will announce who we think halfway through the season will be in the playoffs and who won't be. And before we do that, though, let's go ahead and get into these breakdowns. Mr. Filter, first up, we are going to do spoilers versus La Flama Blanca because it's at the bottom of my list. So if you want to pull that up and take a look on your end, we're going to talk about D and Gary first. And you can go ahead and talk because I really don't have much to say. I don't think this is much of a matchup more than a blowout. So, yeah, I don't really have too much to comment.
Well, I'm still a robot.
I didn't follow you. You might have to step back to the left. You broke up again.
Step back to the left right there. Is that good, Brother Sheck?
That's perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, so without even looking, I just looked at the projected scores. But as you said, these are going to be very fast because of the nature. I believe Gary has one of the best teams. He's a league scoring champ right now.
He's also in first place as he wants to make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, he is definitely in first place. So, man, I just don't see where there can be an upset here. My blessings go to Brother POTUS.
Yeah, I think anybody who actually looks at this team, and if they're watching this and they're actually looking at it, I don't think there's really any reason to talk about it much. Unfortunately, D just is it's buys and things. When your team's, and I don't want to say so bad, when your team is in such a position because of buys and everything else, that you have to start Claypool when he just got traded to a new team, you know you're in a little bit of trouble. I don't think I have to say anything more than that.
Agreed. Next
is a little bit, it's probably another blowout. We have Chris versus Bob. I mean, once again, looking at his team and his situation, he's starting James Robinson, who against Buffalo. So, yeah, he's been with the team for, I guess, a week now, but he's still playing against Buffalo, so that's not going to be very good yet. And, I mean, there's really nothing exciting to say. Bob should win this one handily, and I don't mean anything negative against you, Brother Chris. I just don't see how you have a chance to win. Now that Bob he got a huge advantage with ETN being the lead back now. He's got Kelsey coming back off of bye. The only question mark, which he'll probably won't play, is Michael Thomas. But even without that, it's going to take a miracle for Brother Chris to win. What do you got?
Man, you know what? I think this is going to be a lot closer. He hasn't put in his wide receiver. I think if Connor comes in, he's going to put Connor in as his running back. Let's see, who else does he have on his bench that's available?
Is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Marsh, yeah, even well, yeah, even Shea could have a decent. You know what? I don't think this is as lopsided as the projections say. You know what? This I think game will be a little bit closer because Hardman, brother Bob has Renfro, hasn't done much. Has McCole Hardman. He just came off a 3 touchdown game before the bye. That's an abnormally. I don't think that's going to happen. Man, I think it comes down to Thomas. Really, if Thomas plays, he has a slight advantage. You know what? I'm going to take Brother D in this.
You mean Chris?
I think if Connors plays and everything falls into place, I'm going to take Brother D. Now, if Connor's out again, which I don't think is going to be
once
happening,
again, Brother Chris.
Oh yeah, my apologies, Brother Chris. I think has a legit possibility of beating Brother Bob. And you know what? I'll pick this as the blessing of the week.
Okay, I like it. Blessing of the week going early. I just don't. I think that I look at the 3 players, and I think that's where it solidifies me: Cook, Etienne, and Kelsey. I just don't see him being able, like, those 3 players alone just solidify me on Bob. And I don't mean anything bad.
DJ Moore has stepped up his game. Adam Thielen's last game as being like the true number 2 with with Hawkinson coming in, and maybe that helps. I don't know. I think this is going to be a lot closer of a game than projected. So you know what? We got to go out on a limb every once in a while. We can't just go based off projections. Give me Brother Chris on this one.
Hey, I like it. The blessings of the week. I like that. I like the way you said that, and good for you. Next up, we got Fantasy Bust Terry versus Mr. Zoe himself. So this is definitely a more closer matchup. 4-4 versus 5-3. Go ahead. What do you got on this one? What are you thinking?
Let's see here. Stevenson, Eno. Now with that, Carter, blah blah blah. Man, this may be the closest low scoring game of the week. Like, it'd be close, but it'd be both low scoring. Man, this is actually very, very tough decision because Brother Terry has Hawkinson in as of right now, who just got traded. We don't know how much he's going to play. But Michael Carter didn't live up to the hype for the Higgins-Michael Carter trade. Benjamin, what is he going to do if Connors comes back? But he's also going against Damian Harris, who now has been supplemented by Stevenson.
Not only that, but he sat out due to an illness. So not saying he won't get healthy by game time, but he did sit out. He is sitting out this week with an undisclosed illness.
But I think I'm going to give it to Brother Terry because of the Cup Boyd Wilson. Wilson came alive last week. Boyd versus Carolina. And Cooper Cup versus Tampa Bay. So, man, in a very close one. This is a lot closer than I think it's going to be. But I'm going to give it, because Benjamin's not going to be a starter. Jeff Wilson just got traded. Ayuk has no game. Dolce has no game. I guess you could put in Henderson. Give me Brother Terry.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the edge goes to Brother Terry because of the wide receivers. I don't like either one's running backs at the moment. Dylan, I don't even know if he'll be able to play Harris. I mean, White might not be so bad.
You know what? Once you said that, I'm going to give it my blessings to Brother Zoe.
That's fine. I'll go Brother Terry. I think
he had one legitimate running back out of all of them with Stevenson.
I think Jackson could be that legitimate running back. I think he's going to be able to put in Jackson this week.
Is Taylor injured?
He's not practicing.
Oh, see, I must have missed that. So if Jackson plays, it goes to Blessing Terry. But if Jackson doesn't, if Taylor does play, it's my blessings go to Brother Zoe. All
Yeah,
right.
normally I'd give the advantage to, Brother Zoe because it hurts and he's just an absolute beast. But I also think that, with the situation having Mahomes, I think Adams will have a bounce back game though. So I think that could cause a little bit of trouble there. I think Devontae Adams could have a huge game. But I give my slight edge to Brother Terry on this one.
All right. Fair enough. You're writing all these down, correct?
Absolutely not. I have not wrote a single one down yet.
All right.
But I'll remember. We have you versus Manny. Let's take
right,
a look here.
Start this one off.
What? Yeah, I'll start this one off.
I said you can start this one off.
Yeah, I planned on it. I like the running back matchups you have, that's for sure. I think Jacobs versus Jacksonville, Walker versus Arizona. I think those are really good matchups. The Swift is questionable. I think he's on the good side of questionables personally. I think they just sat him because of a rest day because he never.
Yeah,
really
it's a Wednesday. Yeah, typically you'll see questionable players pop up on Wednesday because midweek they're doing the rest. So I agree with that.
Right now, your biggest question mark, and I know why you did it because he could if Andrews doesn't play, I think that's a great play at tight end, but I don't see anything telling me that he's not going to play. So I think right now you got to figure out what you're going to do with your tight end position. And that's going to be your biggest downfall right now is what you're going to do at tight end. I think Scary Terry could be okay. Pittman could be okay. Murray's Murray, Juju has been producing. I mean, regardless of what anybody says about him. But I got to say, man, like Manny's team's been coming up, dude. I mean, Diggs is a beast. Brown, I don't see him going for another 3 touchdowns the way he did last week, but Higgins always scores. Foreman, I'm a little worried about. He's played well, but Cincinnati's supposed to have a better run D, even though they got ran all over, so I don't know if that's even true. Man, I hate to say it, though. I got to give the slight advantage to Brother Manny on this one.
I agree with you. I don't
think it's going to be a blowout, though. Like, people are going to look at this game and be like, oh, Manny's going to kill him. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think, though, that they're going to be able to do enough to win.
Here's where I think that the tables could turn because he got Miles Sanders against Houston, and everybody knows if you have a running back going against Houston, you can go revert back to Derrick Henry last week, Josh Jacobs the week before that. And then we also know that once Philly gets up, which they should get up relatively pretty fast against Houston, they start benching their starters so no injuries happen. So I'm hoping it's a Miles Sanders week somewhat, and then A.J. Brown, because they get up, doesn't produce where he's at. But I'm still going to take Brother. I mean, we'll talk about this at the end because we're trying to get through this very fast. Is that man? I'm catching Brother Manny on the right week, but I'm also missing Kittle as my cog. But yeah, I agree with you. The wide receivers are just too good. Diggs, Brown, Higgins. Even if I got him on the running backs.
Oh, you do. You have him on the right. It's not if. I definitely think even with Sanders playing against Houston, the running backs aren't even close. I think you definitely crushed in the running back category.
Yeah, but if Sanders hits what all these other running backs have done, Foreman is Chuba Hubbard coming back? Is that going to play into Foreman? Did Foreman get enough last week, realizing we're just going to roll with Foreman? That's a big question mark. But I'm still giving my blessings to Brother Manny.
Yeah, I think you have a chance, and I think it's gonna be close. But yeah, I think the slight advantage goes to Brother Manny on this one.
Agreed.
All right. Next up, we have Zoe versus Izzy, which should not take long to talk about. I don't personally think. I mean, he's just riddled with bye weeks and injuries. Unfortunately, is Brother Izzy. I really don't think I even need to really talk about it. It's Zoe by a landslide. I mean, anytime you're starting Julio Jones as one of your receivers.
We did Zoe versus Terry.
Sorry, that's AJ. I mean, my fault. It's AJ. It's Zoe's picture. So I think Zoe, but it's AJ. I apologize.
Brother Zoe would not put that picture as his Abby.
That's true. But I see Zoe's face. AJ by a landslide. AJ even said it's a bye week for him in the group chat. He even came out and admitted it. He's like, this is a bye week. And I think he's right. I think it should be a landslide. I mean, it's not even close. And he's playing Hubbard. That's the worst part. Like, Hubbard is his starting running back, and he's still just no problem.
Yeah. You know what? Again, we're going to make this short and sweet because we're short on time. I agree. This is going to be Brother AJ. Unless Brother Izzy makes some crazy trades.
Well, yeah.
But, I understand where Brother Izzy's part is, where he's like, hey, man, I'm just not giving players away because I'm where I'm at. So it's still going to take some effort to do that. But, yes, my blessings go to Brother AJ.
Yeah, Izzy's on the wrong side of this week. It's just like I say, if there wasn't the bye weeks he had to deal with and the injuries, I definitely have more faith. It's just he's getting riddled with just the bad matchups. So, yeah. All right, last matchup of the week. I'll let you jump in and talk about it. The ex-roommate bowl. Me versus Kenny.
Here, let me pull that up. Sorry. Let's see. Let's go to the ex-roommate bowl. How have we not just made like every game? There should be a way of us making every game, no matter who plays each other, a bowl game. Which how we haven't done that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we could easily
work on that next year.
Yeah, right? we could definitely make every matchup a certain type of something. The Blessing Bowl, like we talked about, then the Roommate Bowl. I've had a lot of the bowl games here.
The Army Bowl, the Nelson Bowl.
Yep. So.
All right, so we are going now to who?
Myself versus Kenny.
Let's see. Oh, my brothers going against each other. I hate to see it. All right, let me take a gander at this.
I already have my this. I decided a long time ago. I was winning this one.
This is a lot. This is one of the games that's going to be a lot closer. By all means, I know.
I don't think it is. I think he's going to get me by a landslide.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think he takes me down by a landslide. I think the projections haven't been right in the last 3 weeks, and I think he handles. I look at his team. And I just feel like, man, he's going, and he doesn't, and mind you, he still doesn't even have a kicker in yet. But I think he's gonna hand me my ass handedly. Like, I don't even think it's gonna be close.
I don't think it's not gonna be close because this is one of the other matchups. But I do think that they're gonna prioritize Evans and put Can you hear me? I just got a phone call.
I can hear you now.
I think they're gonna lock down Evans with what's the cornerback?
Ramsey.
Ramsey. I think he's gonna concentrate on Evans, which opens up everything for Godwin. Man, I think Olive. Oh yes, that's right, boys. I said Olive. I think Olive is going to do very well against Baltimore. Their secondary is just not good. They allow, I think, top 5 in wide receivers. But Lockett's going against Arizona. Jefferson's definitely going to get the. If Andrews doesn't play, it's a landslide. But if Andrews plays, I'm still going to give my blessings to Brother Kenny.
Yeah, I give my blessings to Brother Kenny. I think the matchups are definitely in his favor. I think after the trades, I think they're going to want to use Singletary, even though it's not a great matchup for him to be used. I think they're definitely going to be using Singletary one last time, give him his last hurrah before they start to maybe.
Brother Mostert's going to score more than Singletary.
I don't.
I believe that. I think that game's going to be one of those games where they blow them out. Same. There's a few teams that we've seen. Buffalo's one, and the Eagles are one, where they like once they get up, they just take the stinking.
Yeah. I don't like Pierce's matchup against Philly. He didn't do great last week, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen this week against the Philly D. Carolina's running defense isn't horrible, and right now without Chase, I don't know. Maybe it was just the Monday Night Blues, then again, Joe Burrow's 0-4 now against the Browns, so maybe it's just the Browns have his number. But I don't feel great about that. Palmer is the one question mark. I mean, he should be the number one receiver for Herbert this week, being that everybody else is injured.
Over Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's not playing still.
No, Keenan Allen played last week. They just put him on a snap count, and once they were up, they just didn't play him the second half. So
there's talks of him having he's not practicing again.
I think
didn't know he played last week.
But I could be wrong. But yeah, if Palmer
literally, I got an update 14 minutes ago. Chargers wide receiver says his hamstring injury got worse during the bye week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're saying he could be missing Sunday.
But yeah, I see this closer, but yeah, my blessings go to Brother Kenny.
But I agree. Evans is going to be locked down. So we'll see, but I'd probably give a slight edge to Brother Kenny on this one. This is the one he's been waiting for all year. This is the one he kept on talking about. All he wants to do is blow my candles. Sorry. All he's been waiting to do is blow out my candles. And I think he will be able to this week.
Hey, I just want to add this in before we get into our next subject. The blessing of the menorah got you so far, but leaving the true blessing that was given to you, seems to be maybe the missing part. I'm just saying.
It could be that, or maybe it was the curse of Brother Terry telling me I cursed myself on making a trade when I shouldn't have, but who knows?
Well, that ties into the true blessing of the butterfly.
I'll put it out there now for the world to see live.
Hold on. I'm not letting you say shit, because maybe the blessing of the butterfly has given the blessing of the butterfly effect, where it's like, hey, menorah covers you so far, but you need the blessings combined equals heart.
If I lose this week to Brother Kenny, I will personally drive over to you on my day off and to receive my blessing again.
Hey, to get that blessing, you got to pay for my golf.
That is a deal. That blessing, last subject. If I did what I did for the other blessing, paying
that no one got the picture of, that would be what you guys are seeing right now. If you're watching this, my picture. That would not be that picture. It would be the picture of you kneeling down and kissing the ring.
There's no proof that ever happened. Anyway, let's go into the next topic. We're going to talk about who we think are going to be able to cut the cheese for the top 6 in the league. Who is going to make the playoffs? Not who's going to win the league. Start this off. Yep, but who's going to make the playoffs?
We can make this really fast. All right.
Go ahead. There's 3 teams we know who aren't going to make it.
Oh, there's 3 that you say it's not going to make it?
100%.
Oh, let me hear the 3 that you say are not guaranteed, because 2 we know.
But so it's obviously Chris, Izzy, and D.
Ooh, interesting.
The reason why I say D is because we talk about points. He has the same amount of points as Izzy, and he has 2 more wins. I don't feel overconfident that he's going to have a chance. He's literally 200 points away from 7th place. 200 points. That's a lot of points.
All right, that is fair. So I'll give you the top 4 that I think will end up being locks.
And no particular order either. So people don't feel like, oh, you said him for blah blah.
No, I'll give a particular order.
Okay, go ahead then.
Number 1, Brother Manny. I think he's also going to take over the point lead from Brother Gary.
Wow. Bold predictions here, folks. He needs almost 200 points to catch up.
Oh, I just realized that. My apologies. Let's scratch the record on that. Oh, I thought they were. I confused two teams. My apologies. Brother Manny will Brother Manny will end up in first place. Brother Gary will end up in second place. But the point leader.
Yep.
Now, everything we're saying is based off no injuries, based off what everybody has right now. No trades, no nothing. We know trades are going to happen. We know injuries are going to happen. So, my third place team is going to be Brother Sheck. I think you have. I think you have a killer team just right now. And once everything settles down, based off no injuries, based off nothing, that your team will, cream rises to the crop. I'll give it to Brother Sheck. Fourth place team, I'm going to give it to Brother AJ. I think his team's going to slowly rise. Hawkerson trade means crazy good for St. Brown. We know Brother Hill is gonna keep producing.
And did you hear the stats that Brother Hill is on pace for 2,000 receiving yards?
Yeah. So again, Brother Terry, unfortunately, and we'll talk about him soon. Just his trades this year. If you go back and look at every trade that Brother Terry has made, almost all of them have been net negative trades for Brother Terry. So we'll get to him shortly. So what was that? That was fourth place, correct?
Yeah.
Fifth place, I'm going to give it to Brother Kenny. I like his team as well. The Naheem Hines to Singletary does knock it down a peg, but based off his points and everything, and I think he's going to get to the fifth place spot. The sixth is going to be, again, we do it every year, right? How many years, Brother Sheckman, have we went through this league and the sixth place spot comes down to like 4 teams, matchups, points?
Oh yeah, always. The points, sixth place usually comes down to points. I don't remember the last time it wasn't a points differential.
So because of that, drum roll, please. I'm going to give my blessings to Brother Bob.
Ooh. So you're leaving yourself out of the playoffs.
Huh?
You're leaving yourself out.
Yeah, man. My wide receivers just I've yet to hit top scorer. I mean, all you got to do is just kind of go through and look at everybody's top score, what their ceiling is. And I think my ceiling has been like maybe 160 some points at most. And bearing any injuries or anything, my wide receivers, unfortunately, I've tried to trade for wide receivers. Can't do it. Brother Terry, unfortunately for Brother Terry, he's caught injuries and bad trades the past few weeks where, like, by the time Chase and Williams comes back, again, unless he makes some trade for Chase and Williams to one of the top teams, man, it's too much. You don't have a running back. You don't have his top epsilon wide receivers. My wide receivers are the reason that I'm going to not make it. Brother Zoe, who's been on a hot streak, but man, eventually that's going to come down to earth, I think, because
he's 5 straight wins.
He's gotten fortunate with running backs and stuff, but once everything balances out, based off trades and everything that's happened, I think he's going to finish. He'll be in the hunt. I think I'll be in the hunt. But I think when it's all said and done, Brother Bob's going to make it. Last place, man, that unfortunately that's going to have to go to brother Chris. Like, trading Evans, trading Lamb, trading Jackson, trading those players. I think 11 is going to be brother Izzy, just based off his draft, right? He drafted players that people were very high on: Akers, Zeke for their value, Harris, and all those are going to come back and bite him. I think D. I think then it's going to be just based off the next 4 to 5 weeks. By that time, we're going to be playoff time. Brother Terry will be 10th. Brother D will be 9th. I'll be 8th. Brother Zoe will be 7th. And Brother Bob be 6th. Your thoughts?
I like a lot of what you said. I think, though, if I had I don't know, man. I do think that it's going to be close between. I think Chris does have a chance to take the number 11 spot from Izzy. They're only a game behind, and he has more points than him. Man, it's going to be a close one for the battle of the bottoms. I think your top 6, the more I look at it, I think you're right. I think Bob's advantage is going to be the points. I think if there's a tie for 6th place, he's going to get everybody on the point side. So I'd probably say, yeah, I definitely like what you're saying, and things. I think the matchups and the scenarios for Zoe's worked out, but towards the end, everybody starts getting their full strength teams back. Bye weeks aren't going to go all the way through, and I think that could help people and hurt other people. We'll see.
No, that's not true. Bye weeks go to week 14.
Yeah, but most people's buys are going to be pretty much done. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, I think I personally think I have to.
Who's number 1? Who do you think ends up first?
First, and just I'd have to go through and look at each individual matchup, because the thing is like when you look at
just based off, right? I didn't go through each individual matchup, just based off their team. It's either right now based off their teams. It's either brother POTUS or brother Manny. Like,
yeah, and I think if we're going to go off a team, I think they may end up with the same record, which will give it to brother POTUS.
Okay. And so that'd give brother Manny 2. Okay.
Yep.
So who do you think ends up third? Again, we're just going off trades are still going to happen. Injuries are still going to happen. We're just going off right now what we see based off.
I think AJ ends up third.
Okay. And what I give AJ? 4th?
Yeah, I think so.
Or no, I think I gave AJ. I think I gave brother AJ 3rd. So I think
you gave me 3rd. Surprisingly.
Oh, okay. Again, once everybody's healthy, I think you have a very good team. So,
but I think AJ, if no injuries happen, I like AJ's team. I like what he's got going on there. I give him a good chance to knock out 3rd. I would say at that point, I would take 4th. Brother Kenny would then probably be. I think brother Kenny and brother Bob are going to have the same record, and it's going to be at points out of 5th and 6th. And I think Bob squeaks him out, and brother Kenny goes into 6th.
All right. So who do you think comes in last place? Who's wearing the dress?
I telling you, I don't know why. I have a strong suspicion it's going to end up being Izzy. Here
the only reason that I'll go against that is because brother Izzy still has players to trade, and brother Izzy has to get in, which I don't think brother Izzy even listens to these. But if he does listen to this one, the competition no longer is for brother Izzy to make the playoffs. The competition for brother Izzy is to not come in last place. And I think brother Izzy has the pieces.
I agree, but we're talking about the way the teams are constructed right now, right? That's all we can say. And the way his team's constructed right now, I see that brother Chris has the right pieces coming up to put him possibly over him.
All right, fair enough.
So,
but that's where we stand. I wouldn't be
shocked either way.
This could all change next week, boys.
Yep,
my brother.
Absolutely.
This is
100% brothers. It will change next week.
This is a Wednesday night, impromptu, quick podcast, which thank you, brother Sheckman, for contributing to, because if it didn't happen now, and we would not have had a podcast this week, we would have had to add in brother Terry, who I don't know if brother Terry right now is negative or if he's positive. I haven't seen the last 120 something messages, so I don't know which way he's swaying.
He's not swaying anyway today. He's kind of stayed pretty neutral.
But he did switch there. I think on Monday became super positive again. So
yeah,
we'll see if he's starting to buy into the blessings. If maybe that's what he thinks is happening, that he's being negative, and because he's being negative, the blessings are now going against him. So now maybe he'll buy into the positives with the blessings and switch it up. We'll see. But
we will see.
Yeah, the people out of the playoffs are brother D, brother Izzy,
brother Chris,
me, you are all my brothers, and brother
Zoe.
Oh, and brother
Zoe. Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be, and so basically, I think the only one really who has a shot from last year is Bob and Gary, the only two that were make it back. I think everybody else missed the playoffs last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you could be right. And that's what this league wants. That's what this league needs is parity, right? We want to mimic the NFL, and every year from the beginning to now, it's our most competitive year, as you can tell by the records at the beginning of the podcast. Yeah. And it's only going to get better as people get closer and they want to achieve more. Keep working, brothers.
There's only two teams. There's only two teams who don't have one of the two records. I mean, you can't get any closer than that. You literally got 10 teams that are, and half of you got 5 at 5-3, and you got another 5 then at 4-4. I mean, that's absolutely crazy how this season's breaking down with the blessings. The blessings are keeping everybody very much contending. And listen, brother D, just because I don't think you're going to make the playoffs, in all reality, bro, you're in the mathematical hunt. If you win games, which means you're making other people lose, you could absolutely make the playoffs. And I think the points hurt you, but you never know where the blessings are going to take you, my friend.
With everybody's team being where they are, I really think, like even brother Manny, who I think has the best team, man, one injury to one of those running backs really deflates him. Same with brother
AJ.
Brother POTUS, brother AJ, like just one injury really deflates it. So again, there's a lot of blessings still to be given, and blessings be to all.
Blessings be to all. For myself and for my brother here, we are going to go ahead and sign off, and we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys for tuning in, and goodbye.